the war that never ended. 150 years ago, shells were lobbed into Fort Sumter, South Carolina, and the Civil War began. In 4 years, over 600,000 combatants were killed, more than Vietnam's 9 years. Isn't it interesting that the war fought to preserve slavery is fought in the nation called Land of the Free? From 1861 to 1865, the war raged all across the country. At war's end, the U.S. Congress passed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, and it would take nearly 100 years for the courts to begin to recognize them. For the courts supported white supremacy rather than black equality. While one of the biggest offenders was the Supreme Court, American presidents also played key roles in supporting policies designed to restrict, deny, and undermine black rights. Under state laws, blacks were denied the right to vote, to enjoy public accommodations, to hold public office, and to purchase homes in most neighborhoods. Schools, from elementary to college, were both racially segregated and economically underfunded. 150 years later, and urban schools remain segregated by class, as well as woefully underfunded. Over 50% of kids in big city schools like Baltimore, New York, and Chicago drop out of school. Some schools are often more segregated today than they were 50 years ago, and the political elites are pushing to privatize public education. It's been a century and a half since the bloody war began, and still legal scholars like Michelle Alexander argue that the black poor and working class constitute a caste in American society, subject to disparate and discriminatory treatment in the nation's courts and virtual social exclusion thereafter. For too many people, a kind of war continues. From death row, this is Mumia Abu Jamal.
These commentaries are recorded by Noel Hanrahan of Prison Radio.